What's going on, everybody? Savage Drumming here with a few friends. I'm not even going to bother pointing because Randy's going to tell me I'm wrong 2 weeks in a row. Today, above me, we have Meatball. To my right, I said I wasn't going to point and I pointed. To my right, we have Nick.
What's up?
It's like the Brady Bunch. I don't know how, like no way they did this on one take. And up there is Randy, whose name I spelled wrong and none of you corrected it last week. That's Frozen Rose. I'll go ahead and put all the names up here. I want to thank everybody for a very successful week one on the podcast. We're just shy of 100 views. That's absolutely insane. This is the Crystal Chronicles Podcast, episode 2. We're going to talk about some tournament results. Shit we got right, shit we got wrong. Actually, I'm gonna have to extend the first part of the intro because you can't swear in the first 60 seconds. Not that I'm getting monetized, but just an overall thank you guys for tuning into the podcast, and thank you guys for watching. We did get a suggestion, and I added it to last week's podcast. We put chapters in. I learned how to do that. Been 5 years on Twitch, just learned how to do chapters on YouTube videos. Getting started. Tournament results. Randy, I'm gonna put this in your hands because this is your area.
Yeah, it sure is. So for the first time in a long time, we've got Mono Ice taking first place in a local qualifier. Dragon's Lair LQ, just to throw it out there. Shout outs to y'all, good job. But what can I say? I'm honestly surprised seeing Mono Ice in the number 1 spot. Took me by surprise. It's an element that's been kind of lackluster as of late. And by as of late, I mean we haven't really seen too many good results in like the last year and a half. So it's different, very unexpected.
I'm very surprised seeing this list, right? And we had talked about this ad nauseum. Is it at nauseum or ad nauseum? I play too much Magic. Is it
in there?
Yep. 1 for 1 on the day. 1 for 7. I'm very surprised to see this list because we had talked ad nauseum that ice, specifically mono ice, is not good enough to get ahead, stay ahead, and find a way to win. It's good at discarding. It's good at dull freezing. It's good at blanking with what is it, Gentiana. But ultimately, it doesn't have a way to finish out the match, or you just get outvalued. And to
100%.
see this list do as good as it did is kind of wild. I got to stop looking at myself. I got to look at the camera, not myself, the camera. 5 years. Come on. I like seeing some of the cards on here. I love, honestly, Opus 21 Y'shtola. Big fan. 18 backups. Big fan. I'm just genuinely shocked that this won, especially into some of the matchups it had.
Especially the finals, where it was actually up against Knights.
It's wild that it even got to play. Like the Knights list has a couple of interesting decisions in it, but overall this looks like a pretty standard like current Knights list. And if you get to play at all, and you should against Mono Ice, they shouldn't be allowed to play the game.
Yeah,
I have to assume that the Knights player like bricked or threw their whole hand away for the Clive Ifrit, and then it got frozen and boomed. Because if you keep any hand against an ice player, you should be fine.
I think a really interesting.
Go ahead.
I think a really interesting card in this list is the Opus 3 Zalara. We haven't really seen that much in any ice list in a while. It's pretty cool because you break all the dull forwards of cost 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and 13. I don't know why we need the 13, but it's there. So that handles it handles a lot of the Knights matchup, and I wonder if this was a really essential card in the Knights matchup.
That's true. If they did in fact get Ramza, Kurilla, and a couple of Knights on board, they all would fit into this cost equation, and it would actually, assuming that Ramza actually used the action ability, and they Zalera in response, that would in fact be the wipe against Knights. Maybe they couldn't rebuild.
They run two of it.
Time out for 1 second. I have to ruin my own recording. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, the Zallara is a very key piece, and they have a lot of ways to recur summons in this list. I believe. If just going off of what Mono Ice does do, you usually can get a summon back here or there. Might be wrong, though.
I do like the Zalera in that an effect like that is just very good, and it's an even cost card. A card like that for 5 makes things a lot more difficult, and I've said this on a number of occasions. If you have a card that is 2 or 4, especially a card that's 6, and we talked about this last week when we were talking about power creep, Neo X Death is great because it's a 6 cost for what is it, 10?
Yep.
Minerva, though I would say is arguably a better card, is a 7 cost for 10, and that one extra card hurts. That one extra cost hurts, especially when when backups can be limited or frozen or whatnot. So I think Zalera coming in at 4 and breaking 6 different valued opponents. Also, quick second, do we have a 13 cost card yet?
Not
Actually, we might.
I can't think of it.
Give me 2 seconds. I can actually double check right now.
I know we have
No,
Chaos at
actually,
11.
I don't think we do. I think we only have 11 at the moment.
I think we have Chaos at 11 and Montleonis at 11. Is it Montleonis?
Yep.
Yes.
The Earth
Yeah.
one.
Montleonis, Chaos. We might have a Exodus.
I think we do have an Exodus.
I mean, I feel like if there was a 13, it would have
The cost, yeah.
on Materia Hunter as like a filter.
Yeah, you know what? There's not even, there's only 2 cards that are 10 costs. It's Chaos and Montleonis. We have some 10 costs in Garuda 3 and Boonevels. See, the worst part is
Yeah.
I'm bringing up these cards, and I means I'm gonna have to save the photo and put them in. I should stop talking about cards. But yeah, no, like there's not even an option for 13. So I really do wonder if they're future proofing this is Zalera.
I mean, that would have been a long time worth of future because that was back in Opus 3. So
I completely forgot that as I was saying that. So yeah, I'm very surprised to see this list do well. I'm glad that it did. Maybe this will bring a little bit of love towards Mono Ice. I don't know that it's enough yet, but at least it's bringing some attention, right? And that is at least positive enough. Moving to the next topic, let's go with unbans, because I think you all want us to talk about bans. We're gonna make you go to the next chapter and completely skip watching this part completely. Let's go to the unban. Daddy's home. Dodaluma getting unbanned. We didn't call this. I called 3 of the 8 other cards. I didn't call Dodaluma.
It's interesting to see, given some of the loops in the past with Dodaluma. I don't think that'll be much of a problem in the current format, though. I think Dodaluma might actually be pretty power crept. I don't think it'll be as much of a driving force as it used to be.
I mean, things like Yuzuki and Kurilla just hard negate this thing.
Yeah, that's also true.
I do think that there are some fun things that have come out since his banning that you can do with, like our good friend Jellyfish, Nacho. He is running a pretty fun FFCC list with it using the Yuri Alaham loop where you tap the Alaham, it deals 2k to the board, and then you just untap it again with the Yuri, and you continue to do that, and he's got a board wipe on me last night with it, basically, while using Dataluma to single ping out the wall for cost.
Interesting. Can you send me those cards afterwards?
Yes, I'll do. Yes,
you don't have to do it now, but just so I can put it in the whatever later.
Yeah, 100%. It's just really cool, the combos that are there. I do think it's not going to do a darn thing. I don't think it's going to be a meta breaker. I don't think we're going to see it in a top 4 matchup.
Mm-mm.
If we do, it'll be someone big brain that has been cooking this for a while. One of the top players, Tori Kelly, one of those people, Hunter maybe, Eureka. I don't think I'm going to even bother trying to cook with Dataluma. It seems moot.
Doesn't have to be them. Just a combo people aren't expecting can go on or run at any time in an LQ, depending on who shows up. As
It's also
we
very
saw
true.
with that Mono Ice deck.
The original, for those of you who are still brand new to this game, first, and I've already shown it on screen, but I'll go over the card one more time. Dataluma is a 4-cost mono earth card. It says when Dataluma is chosen by your opponent, summons their abilities, choose up to 1 forward an opponent controls, deal it 4,000 damage. When Dataluma is dealt damage, choose up to 1 forward your opponent controls, deal it 4,000 damage. So essentially, it's a pinger. And we talked about terms last week in the podcast. A pinger is essentially, it just hits you for a little bit, hits you for a little bit, hits you for a little bit, and that adds up over time. You ping them for damage. You continue to tap them for damage. Dataluma used to have a combo with, what is it? How do you guys say it? Is it Cactuar?
I say Cactuar.
Yeah, Cactuar.
I just say Cactar.
There's always one. It used to have a combination with Cactuar, Cacuter. Listen, ever since I watched the 401, what is it? The Nationals, the Materia Cup, or whatever it was.
Materia Cup.
Yeah.
And he said, Hecaton Kyre
is the Opus 15 Hecaton Kyre.
All bets are off. You can say anything.
That's right.
Not the homie catching a stray.
You know what? I don't know who said it, but you know who you are. And if this ever makes it back to you, just know that you said it wrong. All right?
Wasn't it Gabe?
I'm pretty sure
Was
it's
it?
Gabe.
Oh, was
I'm
it
pretty sure it was Gabe. I'm 100% positive Gabe was the commentator that weekend.
What was that name again?
Is the Opus 15 Hecaton Kyre. Hecaton Kyre.
Okay, fine, I'm cool, I'm fine.
Listen, you can say Zidane and I'll let you go. You can say Cecil and I'll let you go. You can say Titus and I'll let you go. But Hecaton Kyre cannot live on.
That was so funny.
Goodness.
He's a little bit notorious for his pronunciations, let me tell you.
What's funnier is you fucked up the word pronunciation.
Good.
Good.
Good. But yeah, no, the Dataluma is I don't see this coming back. I mean, it's back. I don't see it coming back into the meta. I don't see it making its way into major level decks. I don't see it getting anywhere. I think they unbanned it at a time where it's okay. Like, you can do it into a fire earth matchup, right? Where you play fire cards that deal 1,000 damage and then you can ping something for 4. You can do, I'm not even going to list the cards because the sheer laziness of me, but you guys know the cards, all right? There's 1,000 cards out there in Fire that'll deal 1,000 damage.
That's right.
You can run it in that list and you can make it work. I don't think it's going to be strong enough. Oppositions for, against? Randy?
I'm pretty much all about it. I 100% agree. I don't see Dataluma coming back into like hard competitive play. I think it's seen its heyday. It did what it do, but get out of here.
And it don't do it no more. How about you?
That's
Meatball?
right.
I'm an optimist, so I'm hoping we get to see something funny with it and funky with it, and it shows up at Nats and it just top fours, and you know something crazy happens. Realistically, this card is dead in the water, and I'm glad it's unbanned, but it's not doing nothing.
Sounds good. I remembered to point this way this time. Nick, thoughts?
The unban is a good precedent, since it means that they'll actually look at cards in the future that aren't like crazy in the current meta or current format and take them out, because this thing isn't really doing anything. There's too many random cards that just stop damage completely. Things like Garland doesn't take any damage. I forget what opus it is, but the one that our boy Randy here plays in his Neo Exdeath, the one
If
that
memory
has the
serves, I
special.
believe it is Opus 18.
Yeah.
16.
Is it?
I believe it's no.
With
No,
Flare,
it's 14.
right?
It's 14.
Oh yeah. Opus 14. We were
Turns
both
out
wrong.
it sure is.
That Garland, you got Yuzuki, you got Corilla, all these things that stop damage pretty much entirely, except for enclosed casing on itself. This card just gets
Smoked.
kind of just insane. It's I don't think it's good anymore.
Well, imagine you use Dataluma to ping stack something, and then they're just like, okay, Mist Dragon, you did all that for nothing. Now this forward can't take damage at all. It's just it doesn't
Or
feel
he gets
good.
Amma, and he's an AK, so he dies to it because it's still an auto.
Yeah.
And there's so many more 9K plus pings nowadays that okay, I'll target it. You can do 8K to something. That's fine. You kill one of my things and your engine's gone. I don't care.
Then we kind of
Or
talked about that
hit you
last
with
week.
The one cost Ifrit.
And we kind of talked about that last week, is that power creep, like 8,000, and I speak for myself, I don't speak on behalf of the entire community, but I think 8,000 is that limit, is the benchmark of, can it be Ahmed, will it live? There's too many 9Ks now for it not to. Dataluma, I don't think is. I think we're on agreeance here. Editor, go ahead and put it up on the screen. Fuck! Editor, put it up on the screen. This card is not going anywhere fast. You know who else isn't going somewhere fast?
Oh.
Badladladla. Yuna, in a recent looking over of the cards that are ruining the meta, got absolutely handed the L. Yuna got restricted to 1.
Gotcha, bitch.
As we all called was gonna happen. And then, in a strange twist of fate, Rosa and Cecil got removed. What?
Oh man, the value of Rosa and Cecil. I can't say I saw the ban of those two coming together, but I'm honestly not surprised. The value, what would normally be like 6 CP, turned into what, 4 CP, assuming you pitched 1 card for Rosa, pitched 1 for Cecil. You got to draw a card. Following turn, you change out Cecil for another one, free play a card, draw a
another
second card. Yeah, the value was too good. And then you get the added protection of the green Cecil. So it's tremendous value, and it's an engine that works in anything that plays water. So,
do you think these bans affect the Earth Cecil's playability?
Definitely. I definitely think that it affected the play for Cecil, or Earth Cecil, to be more specific. Are there other Cecils that can be used? Yes, there's a Water Cecil. I saw it previously in a Cat 4 list.
It's a really good card.
Really good card, indeed. But there's also another Water Cecil that has a special that was pretty good in dealing with Yuna, because it did exactly 5k, go figure. Insta-killed Yuna.
It lowers, for those of you guys who are unfamiliar with it, it is Opus 20 Cecil, and it is a 4 cost that says, for a special, choose one forward, it loses 5k power till end of turn. It's a crystal generator, but it's there.
There is also Opus, I want to say 17 Light Cecil from the starter deck. He is a paladin. You know, you're not going to be playing that in the Una list, but my hopes is with these bans, we might see some more creative Cat 4 lists again, but the deck is DOA.
I kind of agree. I think with these bans, this absolutely changes the direction in which we're going to move forward. I remember we talked about it last week. Nick, you had mentioned you think Mono Wind might see some more play again. Randy, you thought we would see more Mono Earth again. Let me get your opinions on it. Meatball, what do you think now that Yuna is in the dirt pushing daisies? I don't want to say in the dirt, but she's about as far away as she's going to go. What do you think we're going to re-see?
Oh, I think we're going to see a lot of this silly tech that people are doing by naturally making their deck worse to deal with Yuna. That's going to go away. There's been so many decks and people that are saying that I would never add this tech, but I have to because of Yuna. I think things like Warrior Light 7 made a comeback because of Yuna. It had not a favorable, but it had a decent road into Yuna, and it's been showing up a lot this season. I'm afraid that Wall 7's going to go. I don't think we're going to see it at Nats. And that, besides Leo Marcus, my dude, he's been rocking the Boys 12 list all season. He's killing it. I am heavy in agreement with both of these guys that it's going to be Mono Earth and Mono Wind will be the big comebacks. My personal belief is I think we'll see Mono Water making a resurface, not just the Water Lightning build anymore.
With that being said, I'm hearing Mono Wind, Mono Earth, possibly Mono Water. Do you guys think that Chaos Arc is worth playing if you have to pay 9 for it? And I ask this for a reason, because in many of these lists that we were going at before, or we're looking at before, they were 2 elements, maybe 3 elements. Do you think Chaos Arc takes a hit from this as well? I mean, we've already seen it go down in popularity, in my opinion, since the days when you played Une and Garnet. But do you think it takes a bigger hit now that these mono elements are seeing a possibility of getting a revival?
I don't think so, because it was already just about as prevalent as it is now last year. Looking back at some of the Nats and Worlds deck lists, and there was much more Mono Earth and Mono Wind last year than there is now. So
yes,
I don't think it changes much. People who are Chark are gonna keep Charking.
And Mono Earth isn't really Mono Earth either. That's the big thing. Because say we drop down a Toto, guess what? Toto's all elements. That chaos is now free. So and a lot of times you might have to do that in a matchup. I think the Earth Lightning variant that's coming around is going to be more prevalent than the Water Earth variant of Chark.
And that's
why that be your hot take.
Mine?
No, I'm curious why he thinks that the lightning list is going to be more prevalent than the water tech. I happen to agree, but I'm just curious if his reasons are the same.
Sure.
Because I don't quote me on this. I don't believe a Earth Water variant has won a Materia Cup this season. Anthony did win the Toronto Materia Cup with the Earth Lightning variant. I do know a lot of people like to piggyback on wins, and they're going to see that the Earth Lightning won. And I just personally like Earth Lightning more. I get to play Lady of Antiquity. I get to play Delusionary Warlock. I can play X-Death. It's fun.
I happen to agree, not so much on. I do agree that people do like to piggyback on wins, but I think the break zone removal with Irvine and X-Death, I mean, coupled with the fact that you also have Mist Dragon in the same element, a lot of decks do have quite a bit of recursion, and removing their break zone, it will hinder some game plans. A good placed Mist Dragon or Irvine can theoretically take away, like, whether it's a Curilla or a Gawain in break zone for Knights. If Mono Earth does come back, it will hinder Mont Leonis plays. Mono Fire, I do believe they play Minwu in it, will also get rid of their break zone, so I'm curious to see whether or not Chark will be making a upset. I want to say whether it's going to be a big thing at Nats, or will it just be just something we saw during the season but won't make it to Nats.
Something I wanted to talk about for some of the newer players, and I'm going to put them up on the screen right about now, is Shantoto and Chaos. The way this combination works, Chaos reads, and because a lot of people may miss this, so for those of you who are thinking about buying into the hype with Chaos Arc, Chaos says the cost required to cast Chaos is reduced by 2 for each element amongst characters your opponents control. Traditionally speaking, most cards are 1 element or 2 elements. We don't have any tri-element cards technically. If you read Shantoto says if Shantoto is on the field, it gains the elements of fire, ice, wind, earth, lightning, and water. You put that into context with something that says, what is it, like the materia backup that says, I think it's materia backup, correct me if I'm wrong, that says
Cosmos and Chaos.
Cosmos and Chaos that can produce CP of any color. That does not mean that it's all elements like Shantoto is. So if somebody has a Shantoto on the board, that means your Chaos is free. It's reduced by 12. So very good point by Meatball for pointing that out, because it's something I hadn't noticed prior to, and actually only adds to my enjoyment of the Chaos Arc lineup. For those of you who are also still newer to the game, the Arc combination Chaos Arc, the cost required to cast Arc is reduced by 1 CP by 1 for each CP required. I'm trying to read it small. Why am I trying to read? I can blow it up. The cost required to cast Arc is reduced by 1 for each CP required to cast the highest cost Dark Forward you control. It feels like it's worded weird. Either way, you have an 11 cost Dark Forward. Arc is free. Chaos can be free. Arc is free. But having said that, yeah, I think there's a possibility it sees play. I think there's a possibility that it resurfaces. My concern is with the mono elements. I think we're willing to pay 7 for Chaos. I don't know that we're willing to pay 9 for Chaos.
The only time we're gonna run into this issue is with Mono Wind, because you're not. It's not just Shantoto to think about with Mono Earth. It's also 4-color Wall, which every Mono Earth deck is trying to play. That's gonna cut the cost of your cast by a lot too.
Or Bosch, Une. There's always going to be multiple elements in Mono Earth, like of some type. And Fire as well. Mono Fire has some multi-elements. It's at least going to have Furion. It's going to at least have Zidane. Mono Fire, that would be it.
I am convinced Arc is worded in a weird way.
Hey,
I think they have to word it that way. Because if they word it like for each CP required to cast it, or anything that were to imply that it needs to have been cast for that much for it to reduce it by that much might be confusing because Chaos is never going to be cast for 11.
Yeah,
That's true.
which is why in Magic we have converted mana cost when we just say this the CMC of the highest whatever. Moving into the next topic, we have a couple cards that everybody wanted to talk about. We're going to go around the table. We'll go top to bottom. I swear I have not seen Big Hero 6 in years, and Badladladla is stuck in my head. We're going to talk about, well, it's loosely, one card we each are interested in talking about this week. Sama. He goes by 9 different names. Sama, talk to me about your card.
Excellent, I got you. The card I chose for this week was Elwyn. It is the new fire backup that will be released in the upcoming set. I'm not gonna lie, it took a very long time to get a generic fire searcher. I love the fact that it is part of the new category 16 cards. And for those of you unaware, when Elwyn enters the field, you may search for 1 fire forward, regardless of cost, and add it to your hand. The reason why I chose this card for the week is that it plays into the current meta pretty well. Fire Water Warriors, which I suspect may become just straight mono fire. They will have another searcher, Naji. So they will have 2 searchers for their Tyvis. They can search out Clive or Ifrit, whether it's to set up for the Prime itself or to even grab an additional Ifrit for the special. So I think mono fire lists are also going to do well with this. They can search out the Jekt, once again, the Clive Ifrit. Even Minwu if they need the recursion. You got your Fire Water Warriors. This is also good for Knights. Knights can potentially go and just straight up grab the Gawain, the Ramza, Garland. Got some good options.
Their own Clive.
Amen to that.
Their own Clive Ifrit.
Their own Clive. Yeah.
I like it. I don't know that I've seen. Is there any card prior to this that searches for a fire forward?
No. This is the
Not
first
generically.
Not
Yeah,
generically?
not generically in fire, no.
You have Meath. You have 3 or 4 different copies of Meath. He's essentially a 4-cost card, but he's a 2-cost that you have to discard a card.
Yeah.
It's searching with extra steps, really.
So it's good to see that fire now has a way to speed up. I mean, fire is the aggro deck, and it should have always been the aggro deck, and it took us 26 opuses to get search for a fire forward. Do you think this changes how much we see mono fire lists?
I don't think it'll change how much we see it, but it's an interesting take. Despite the fact that you would expect fire to be more aggro, it's honestly more of a control deck.
Interesting.
/ kind of a mill deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our good friend Rosario, she can definitely give you some pointers on why it's a mill and a stall deck and very control heavy. It's in a weird spot, and it's really been cool to see this season. Mono Fire has shown up to almost 60+% of events this year. Almost there has been at least one Mono Fire player, and don't quote me on those numbers, of course.
The internet will absolutely let you know if you were right or wrong. I want to say 7 viewers are going to say that we were right or wrong, but last podcast, as mentioned before, we absolutely crushed it, man. We almost hit 100 viewers. Speaking of Naji, Meatball, you mentioned prior to the podcast that you wanted to talk about a fire backup as well. Hit me with it.
Yeah, the reason why I wanted to speak about the Naji is because I'm a Warriors player. That's one of my favorite decks. It's one of the archetypes I go to every time. I'm constantly cooking it. Can't wait for the starter decks coming out this fall. Like that Cloud is going to be so much fun to cook with. There's so much there. But this Naji's so cool because now we have our own piece in Warriors to grab any warrior we want. We're not just grabbing the Tavis off of Larsa anymore. We're grabbing it off of this, off an EX, and that's going to just flip games upside down. If I can grab a Mog 6 off of an EX, knowing you're going to search next turn, I'm good. This card is going to really push Warriors to a different place, in my opinion. And like Randy said, I really see the potential of Mono Fire Warriors being like the go-to, and I'm going to be cooking that myself.
I like it. I think the power in here lies in the even cost of the card. It's a 4 cost, right? Secondly, you're not searching Mithril Musketeer. I don't know why it's even on the card, but it's a warrior, and it lets you search for a warrior, and it's an EX burst. So you have a lot of opportunity, no matter where this card shows up, whether it's in damage, whether it's played, no matter where it is, it's gonna have some value. So I think Naji absolutely is gonna make a difference, especially in warriors. And as you mentioned, you're no longer having to just search for Tavis, right? You can use this to search the next piece.
We essentially have 12 searchers for Tavis now, if we're not counting Thornton or any Meaths. We could be up to like 16 searches, 17 searches, and it's ridiculous where this game is going with the amount of searching we do, and I love it.
You're gonna have to kill all 3 Tavises against the warrior player every game for sure, because there's just so many of them. There are so many ways to get him now.
I'm so happy.
Speaking of making people happy, Nick, you had a conversation you wanted to bring up when it came to Mono Earth and some of the cards coming out in the Opus 26 lineup. Talk to me about your card of the week.
Tifa. The new Tifa is kind of gross, particularly if she's paired with the new Zengen. Being able to looking at Mono Earth lists, there's actually not a whole lot of real spot removal. You got Emmett Selk, but it's unmoddable. Tifa isn't. You get Zengen Tifa on board, you can discard whatever card you want and deal anything AK. It's like the really nice part of spot removal I feel like Mono Earth has been missing, especially since you can't really interact with Tifa using her special. And if you're playing Mono Earth, you're going to be trying to play things like Leo, Tyro, Toto, any of those things that give you lots of color fixing, and you can just play the LB Cloud to remove something and give Tifa her reactivate ability on her specials. I think, and the fact that she's a 9k, these two together in that deck are going to be a bitch to deal with. And I can't wait to play it.
Looking over the cards here, playing Zengen first, obviously it being a 5 cost hurts a little bit, but both of them are 9Ks. Zengen free play the Tifa. Tifa can activate as though, can special as though it had haste. And all you have to do is discard a card to do 8K. If you control a card named Cloud, also activate Tifa. So you have a lot of board wipe potential with this combo. And the fact that Zengen free plays any Tifa of 5 cost or less from your hand onto the field is massive. These get around dying to Amat, which is huge, right? Anytime, if you're going to get Amaterasu, it's great to at least know that you can keep your forward. So these are power, what I would consider power plus. These are above the 8K benchmark that I have mentally set and I'm trying to establish in the community. They don't die to Amaterasu, right? You shut them down a little bit, but also consider this. Zengen, free play Tifa. Tifa gets to use her special immediately. Even if these two are still on the field, next turn, Zengen can deal 10K to any forward because Zengen and Tifa are both martial artists.
Zengen can do it on the turn he enters as well. They both get the haste if he's on board.
Yes, oh, yes.
So that you can pop in, play her, hit something for 10k, and then you can also discard to hit something else for 8k if you need it.
That's, you know what? Reading, as we've proven earlier, very difficult for me. So is reading comprehension. Zangan Tifa combo, this is going to be something to look out for. 100%.
Not to mention, when you add in the fact that you're actually playing, like Nick said, if you do in fact add this into Mono Earth as a tech option, the combo potential is pretty nuts. Let's just throw out the hypothetical, right? Because Mono Earth can get to 5 backups in a turn or two. You got 5 backups on board. You can tap 1, play Leo. Leo gives you the opportunity to tap your backups for any color. You can tap 4, play Warrior of Light, activate all your backups. Tremendous value as you draw a card. After you draw the card, play Zangan. Zangan, go grab your Tifa, play the Tifa. You just got 4 bodies on board. Leo got 1k bonus for all of your characters on board. Tifa now has haste. Zangan has haste. You can guaranteed remove at least 2 options. So,
if you do this early enough and fast enough, right? If they don't yet have a setup, does four color wall has haste, right?
Yeah, haste first strike grave.
That's 3 forwards with haste at that point. Like you are. These are going to be. Do you think these are going to be very? Go ahead.
There's only one subtle difference there, is that the Tifa and Zangan can use their abilities as if they had a haste, but they actually can't attack.
Oh, yes. Comprehension, reading, difficult, -1. They can use action abilities and special abilities with dull in the cost as though they had haste. This card does not give them haste. So good to know, good to understand. Do you think these are going to be not auto includes, but do you think these are going to be prevalently played cards, or do you think they're going to be mid-tier?
Like Nick said, I think the fact that Mono Earth already has many board wipes in the deck, it has break zone removal. Again, with Leo, you can play Amaterasu, and I've also seen lists with some teched-in fire cards, such as Terra and Zidane. I think this will, in fact, give the spot removal they need, so they don't have to all in with a immediate board wipe. I wouldn't be surprised if it became heavily induced tech by Mono Earth players. I'm not going to lie to you. Shout outs to my boy Nick here. I definitely plan to add it into my Mono Earth list.
The thing is, like what we were talking about before with the Chaos, where, if I play Toto to get rid of your board, now your next Chaos is free. Well, instead of Totoing, you can just play the Zangan Tifa and kill it with Zangan. And not have to worry about it.
I think for me, since there are 2 Mono Earth variants running amok right now, you've got the traditional Mono Earth variant, and then you've got the Cloud Cat 7 OTK variant that's running around as well. I think you're going to see it fit into I think you're going to see it fit into more of the traditional list, which is weird to say since they're Cat 7 cards, but the Cat 7 list is running so... Sorry, I lost where I was going with
the Cat 7 is Avalanche specific.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You want
Thank
to play in that 2 cost, so these don't fit as well.
No, and so I do think, though, we are going to see, we could see another Mono Earth Cat 7 list where it's a generic Cat 7 where we're using all these things, because we do have Sheeran as well. Ed Sheeran, the new Ed Sheeran card is pretty fun. We'll have to pull that one up.
Because the good old,
I'll send that one.
Mantras the field, use Cat 7 in break zone, add it to your hand. If it's a card named Tifa, during this turn, the cost required to cast her is reduced by 3, but cannot become 0. So if like your Tifa gets boomed, and you don't want to have to cast another Zangan, you can, if you have a backup slot open, you can play Sheeran, get her back, and pay 1 to play her again.
It's gonna be interesting to see these things grow. My card of the week, as the degenerate player that I am.
Doorbell, I've got a...
Yep. The my overall pick right now, especially as a Knights player, I want to go all in, and I will buy a playset of the 5-cost Charlotte. You can only pay with ICP to cast Charlotte when she's chosen by your opponent, summons her abilities. If your opponent doesn't discard a card, cancel its effect, which is fine to me. I don't think they're going to. I don't know that they're going to target this. They should. I don't know that they will per se. When a character enters your opponent's field, dull it and freeze it. This card to me is a forced mid-range staller. It forces the opponent to slow down by at least 2 turns, with the exception of mono wind, which can auto activate a whole bunch of your own stuff. I'm super into this. It doesn't fit super well into the Knights that we currently have because it is 5 costs. It only gets brought back on Ramza. It can't be Kirillaed, which is rough, but with Beatrix reducing the cost by 2, I'm sure I can find 2 ice cards in Delita, Charlotte, Laswell, and then I'm currently running 1 copy of the backup Moogle that allows you to, the Fire Moogle that allows you to produce ICP. And I'm doing that just in case I run into a problem where I can't find an ice forward to pitch for Charlotte or for Laswell, if my deletas aren't in hand or whatever. So I'm trying different ways to make sure I have an ability to get to ICP. This card to me is too strong not to at least run at 1. Thoughts?
I think you definitely run it at 1. The thing is, when you're playing Knights, your biggest issues are going to be things like Refia and Chark, actually, because you want to go kind of aggro with a full board before they can stop you or toto you. And the biggest problem with that is getting EX bursted and either like falling super behind in hand advantage or things getting taken off your board. Having something like Sid Waff there is something you're already going to want to do, which is more ICP to potentially pay for the Charlotte. And you also kind of want a little bit extra ICP in your deck anyway, with the inclusion of the new Heretical Knight Garland in your LB. Because having an extra Knight to throw on board for Ramza, or even the other Garland to ping something, is always good to have around. And not only that, because of the way this card interacts with your opponent, you get around things like Yogg Rosh. You're not forced to just never be able to dull freeze anything because of Charlotte being on board. And the fact that it freezes them on their turn coming in means that card is just kind of like inactive for 2 whole turns before you have to worry about it. And that's a lot of time to get when you're playing with a Knights deck.
Which is one of the reasons I had mentioned I feel like it's so strong. It's any character that comes in on the field, dull and freeze it. You buy yourself 2 turns with the exception of mono wind auto activating a lot of your stuff. I feel it's very well, and what is it? 4-color wall activates all your backups. But Charlotte buys you the time that you may need. If you, let's say you whiff a Kirilla and Charlotte pops up next turn, right? It allows you that chance to rebuild. Or if you're waiting on if you're trying to get a Ramza warp, right? Charlotte may buy you that time to get yourself rebuilt for whiffing on something, or if they blow up your board, right? You have a second to slow them down enough. And to me, I think I don't want to say it's an auto include. I definitely think, what is it, the Sid Waff that we had mentioned, the ice backup. I think that's we're seeing a slow turn of Knights adding 1 or 2 additional backups just to make sure that you have the extra value. Randy, your thoughts?
I think that on top of having the Laswell, Physalis, Charlotte,
Physalis.
yeah, like you said, Sid Waff is going to be incredible, especially against decks with a lot of EX bursts. Whether it's going to be like water lightning monsters with the Odins, maybe even Leviathans. Let's not even get started on Refia. They have everything. I think the inclusion of the backup Ysayle for Ice can search out your new Ice Charlotte. It can absolutely make the difference, and it's the 1 CP to make it an even cost while on board. So you won't have to pitch as many cards either, making it a lot more accessible and playable. I've suffered at the hands of this card during playtesting already, as Nick brought up in the last podcast episode. And I can speak from personal experience that it is absolutely detrimental to be on the other side of this thing. You have two choices. You can suffer for like 2+ turns, or you can spot remove it, and even then you got to get punished. You gotta pay the tax, man. You got to discard. It's absolutely incredible. I also think that this card will be fantastic in mono ice as an ice player and ice main since I started. I think that this card is going to be phenomenal. I can't wait to play it. And once again, it may not be the best card of the set, but it's certainly a contender in my honest opinion.
Yeah.
I think we all know the card of the set.
Yeah, shout out to Rala, man.
Universally hated and loved in the exact same moment.
Yuna 2.0.
Well, Rala's more deal withable than Yuna. You can still cast your Ifrit and kill it. You know what I mean? Your 1-cost Ifrit and kill it or whatever. Yuna, you're like, I'm gonna do this. And you're just like, yeah, well, you're paying 5 or 10 instead, buddy.
Oh, you thought?
Yeah.
No. I like Charlotte. I like Rala. I'm absolutely getting a full art foil Rala. I will bite the bullet on that one. But I think all these cards coming out in Opus 26, there's some real winners. There's some real duds. I didn't see a whole lot of love for Knights come out. I say that good. I say that as we've been talking about a 5-cost Knight. They don't really need the help. They're still a very tier 1 deck right now. I wouldn't mind just a little bit of help.
They did get it. They got the heretical Knight Garland, baby.
That's all we needed. It's on the fact they would even give us another Knight in the LP is diabolical.
Nutty. It's why?
It's diabolical, bro.
But once again, pick Theologia, pick Logica, whatever. I don't fucking it. Look, I have a real thing about art in this game and why this card looks good. I'm not even going to talk about it.
Sickest armor set, to be honest.
I'm just going to put it up on the screen, and we'll all know who I'm talking about. It's the final boss for Final Fantasy 9, and all you had to do was make it look badass, and you couldn't. There's a reason I don't like Amano, and there's a reason I don't like Picked Logica. God damn it.
Hot take.
Look, he has great monster. He has great monster arts, but dude, I've never seen a card smile with his art. Like, I'll stand on that. Titus looks weird. Rosa's blonde.
You realize he's the sketch artist, right? Like he was the not sketch artist, but he was the what's the word?
Concept artist?
Yes. He was the concept artist. Like Terra's their hair changed in the game. They didn't know what the hair color was gonna be when he was sketching it.
So it's 2025 and he's still drawing blonde hair. Draw the right hair. Oh my God. And can somebody smile in his art, please? Everybody is every time. Nobody has smiled. Maybe Renoa, Ice Renoa. I think she smiles a little bit.
That might be true.
That
I'm also not the biggest fan of Amano art, but you know,
can
I'm
die on the ship
I'm also
together.
an expert on hot takes.
This is the Titanic going down.
I'm
I
jumping off.
can see it now in the comment section. Someone who loves the Amano art is going to absolutely rip us apart. And I'm willing to die on this hill. It's all right.
You know what? I'm willing to die on this hill if they got 56 minutes into this podcast. I'll be very proud of that.
That's also fair.
I love Amano art. Don't
Imagine
kill me.
spending 56 minutes watching this just to get angry about that.
Yeah.
Nothing else we said was
This whole thing's shit!
That's it. That's it. I was in from the beginning. I was here from day one, and this is what breaks my balls. So,
Well.
if we've got nothing else to add, I'm not going to say the outro to the stream this week. However, I want to thank everybody for joining the podcast. I want to thank everybody for being here, watching. If you guys have any suggestions of things you guys want to add to the channel, things you guys want to add to the video, things you want to add to the podcast, things you think we should remove from the podcast, such as our hot takes, Amano is still not the best. I don't care what you say. We will be sure to take those into consideration. Put them in the comment section below. Feel free to like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. First and foremost, we want to thank Materia Hunter for all their provided information that they have. They have no idea who we are, but they do provide us with a lot of information. We do generally use FFTCG if we want to test a deck out first, but Materia Hunter has got a phenomenal list of information with cards, easy to read text, and it is a beautiful, beautiful website to use. Secondly, I want to say thank you to Meatball for running the server, which I'll link in the description below so that you guys can join in on, or if there's an invite link, we can put that in the description below. I want to say thanks to my other friends. We have Randy, Randall Sama, Frozen Rose, spell it right, spell it wrong. The dude is always available to run games, to ask questions to, and to just bounce ideas off of. And then there's Nick, and I want to thank everybody. And I want to thank Nick. I want to thank Nick for all the time that he spent answering my stupid questions on nights. I want to thank you guys for being here, being a part of the channel, being a part of the video, being a part of the podcast. Thank you for being here. Drive safe, drink plenty, stay hydrated, and I'll see you guys in the next lobby.